Well, this morning we've been telling you about Georgia's hand recount. Reportedly found about 2,600 uncounted ballots. Election officials say human error. So what does this mean for the president's legal battle going forward? Let's talk to Trump campaign press communications director Erin. Erin, good morning.
Good morning. Okay,
so they found apparently down in Floyd County, Georgia, they realized that somebody did not upload from a memory card or memory stick something like 2,600 votes. They say it's human error. Does that change anything for the Trump camp?
Well, this continues to prove what we've been saying all along, that each step we take to protect election integrity, if it's this hand recount in Georgia where all of a sudden they have found 2,600 additional votes, that's 2,600 Georgians who almost didn't have their voice heard in the presidential election. This is another step toward us being able to make sure that this is a free and fair election, that we can trust the results. And while some members of the mainstream media and Democrats want to say this is done and over with, not only did we find those 2,600 votes in Georgia, there were 8,000 additional new votes counted in Pennsylvania yesterday. This is still very much ongoing. And on behalf of President Trump and the campaign, the millions of Americans who voted for him, we want to make sure we get this right. We want to make sure we get this right.
Right. I saw that the president tweeted out that there was a big victory in Clark County in Nevada because a county commission seat for District C, they were 10 votes apart. And there were some discrepancies, so they decided to look at the options about perhaps rerunning it. The president says that's a big victory. How does that impact the presidential race? Because the way we read it, President Trump is still trailing by 33,000 in Nevada, whereas this particular case applies to these 10 votes in that one race.
Well, there were 153,000 votes cast in that one race there in Nevada. And what we saw opens up the questions that we have been asking. If there are instances of fraud, if there are discrepancies, if there are irregularities, we should be looking into those. The fact that there are 139 instances of irregularities in this one case should worry the American people. People voting twice, that should worry the American people. We want to make sure we get this right because it's so important that we know every vote is counted and counted appropriately. We want to make sure we get this right because it's so important that we know every vote is counted and counted appropriately.